The culture of United Planners has impacted my business hugely. I spent much of the beginning of my career at a place where there was no freedom, and I've spent so much time trying to figure out how do I get people out of my business, out of my pockets, and be able to actually build the business I want to build, have the lifestyle I want to have, and stop chasing everybody else's requirements of me and just, serve my clients well, get rewarded for that. And it's been a place that has really created that has been real here. Everybody says it. I looked at many firms before coming to United Planners. Everybody says, oh yeah, do whatever you want to do. It's never true. There's always caveats. There's always reasons why, well, you can do whatever you want to do, but not that. United Planners has not been that way. Anything I have wanted to do, I have been able to do in multiple different ways. And the way I chose was, perhaps a great way at a time. If I wanted to change a different way, I could do it. There was no issue. So the culture here, they always talk about being open architecture. It is a true open architecture place. And it's not always that way. It is here. I've had some great service experience with United Planners, and particularly one that I'll always tell is there's a moment where I had a particular disagreement about a policy change that happened where it affected my business pretty substantially. If I was to comply with the policy change, it would have cost me a substantial amount of money, a meaningful amount of money. And so I had issues with it. I was running up against the department that had the policy change instituted, and they were somewhat non-responsive to my point of view, where their policy was going to trump my situation. I was able to get in touch with partner development. I explained my case. They were sympathetic to my point of view. They advocated for me internally to try to come up with a solution that made sense. And in the end, there was a resolution where I was able to maintain my position. It did not cost me a lot of money. It did not cost me any money. And I was able to, continue on with my business without any substantial hiccup. And that to me was an experience that I'll remember forever, because I don't think that normally happens at a firm. They have a policy and procedure. And especially me, I'm not the biggest producer. I'm not going to be the guy that people look at and go, hey, he's really pulling his weight here at the company in terms of production. But they listen to me just like I was, a billion-dollar guy. And to me, that meant a lot. Success is defined at UP in, I think, a pretty unique way. At many firms, especially some of the one that I started with and had a lot of my career with, success was defined as you kind of walk around the annual meeting, your ribbon length determines how good you are as an advisor and a human being. And it doesn't really take into account multiple ways that this business is rewarding. Time that you get back to be able to spend with your family, different things like that. It's solely on production for the company. That to me, it doesn't resonate with me. It's not something that I got into the business for. It's certainly nice, but it's not something I got into this business for. And there's a real culture of looking around and going, that guy's ribbon hits the floor, he's better than me. And that was the feeling around the company. It is not that way here. Do we reward success here? Do we recognize success here? Absolutely, we do. When you're in that moment and you're being recognized, or someone else is being recognized, it's great to be able to hoop and holler and cheer and congratulate them on their success. Out here, when you're at the conference, everybody feels the same. You're not looking at the guy and going, well, that guy, he's better than me. We're all here. We're all in the same place. We all have our own desires, our own aspirations, our own definitions of success. And we all get to be celebrated in that way. I think individually, it doesn't feel like, one person's big time and another. It feels like we're all in the same place, chasing our own dreams, and everybody is the same, in the eyes of the company.